over there.
I'm so excited. How's everybody doing this morning? Good. Everybody doing good? Good. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Ms. Rooney, for having me in your class this morning. My name's Michael, and I'm known as the pet professor. Right? So I go around to different schools and I talk to you guys about being responsible pet owners because it's very important for me and I want it to be very important for you guys as well. Why? Because we all have animals, right? We all love animals. We see animals every day outside. And so I want you guys to be responsible and make sure you take care of your pets. Because I don't want them to come to me in the hospital and then they're sick and all kinds of bad stuff, right? So let's talk about how many of you guys have pets by a show of hands. Look around, everybody. Even your teachers got pets. Can you believe it? So we all have pets, so it's very important that we're responsible. What grade are you guys in? Third grade. So, you know, you guys are pretty responsible as it is, but we can always be more responsible, right? So there are a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. The first thing we want to think about anytime we want to get a pet is how long is this pet going to live, right? Some pets can live up to 150 years old. That's a long time. That means they can outlive us, right? The dogs, they can live up to maybe 10, 15 years. Let's see, I got some dogs in here. They live up to 10 to 20 years, right? So dogs are probably older than most of you guys in here. I know some dogs who are probably older than a lot of you guys, right? So dogs can live a very long time. Bunny rabbits, can you tell me how long bunny rabbits can live for? 8 to 10 years old. Even a little small bunny rabbit can live 8 to 10 years. That's a pretty long time, right? So it's important that when we take into account, hey, we're going to get a bunny rabbit this weekend, we got to be sure we're going to have that rabbit for a very long time, right? I talked about 150 years old. Anybody know what kind of animals can live up to 150 years old? I saw your hand first. Snapping turtles. Snapping turtles do live a very long time. Tortoises. Tortoises can live up to 150 to 200 years. That's a very, very long time. They might outlive us, right? So it's very, very important. I saw a duck the other day come into the hospital. It had a fishing hook in its neck. Can you believe that? A duck ate a fishing hook. Crazy, right? Ducks can live how long? Can you tell me how long ducks can live for?
8 to 10.
Very good. Just like rabbits, 8 to 10 years old. So even if we live on farms, right? A lot of us may live on a farm. We have ducks and cows and horses. Those animals too can live a very, very long time. So it's important that we keep that in mind, okay? The next thing we want to talk about is, so now we got our dog and we know he's going to live 10 years and we got a long life and lots of time ahead with the dog, right? We have to make sure that it's safe for our dog to live in our house, right? So these are some safety hazards that we have to keep in mind when we have these dogs and cats and birds. If we have a bird, what's important about windows if we have birds? I saw your hand up first. Keeping them shut, that's right. Because if we have birds and we keep the windows open and we let the bird out, Tweety's gonna fly away. Tweety's gonna fly away. And you guys, anybody in here can fly? She's raising her hand, but I don't think she can fly. You guys can't fly. So if we lose our birds, they're gone, right? It's gonna be really hard to catch them. So safety hazards, windows when we have birds, very important. We have a lot of plants in our house. Mom likes to keep plants in the windows. Birds, not birds, but cats and dogs like to eat and chew on plants. But some plants can be poisonous and dangerous to them. So if they eat a plant and then they come to me and then I have to take care of them, I don't want that to happen, right? So we have to make sure that we don't have any poisonous plants in the house when we're taking care of our dogs and cats because that can be dangerous for them too. We also have to take into account, let's say we have a mouse. What happens if we have a mouse and we let the mouse go? I saw you want to raise your hand. What happens if we have a mouse? What's the safety hazard there if we have a mouse? That's right. He's so small, you're walking around here, uh-oh. That's not good, right? That's very bad, very, very bad. So we have to take into account that the size of our animals, some animals are really, really small, and some animals are really, really big. Horses, they can hurt us too. They're so big and massive, they might damage us, so we have to be careful, right? So those are some considerations. We have to be aware of stoves. Stoves can be hot and burn our pets, right? We have to be aware that pets can get into water sometimes and take baths, and then that's not good because they might not come back from the bath, and we don't want that to happen, right? They might get into some yarn and get tangled up, and we don't want that to happen either, right? So we have to keep in mind all of these safety hazards in our houses when we're taking these pets in, right? Pretty important. I like this slide right here very much. Animal safety is fun. We have to be safe around these pets most of all, right? What happens if we walk up to a dog that we don't know? There's a chance that the dog might bite us, right? We don't want that to happen. So what do we do if a dog comes up and we don't know the dog? Stand tall like a tree. Just don't move. Stand, be a tree. Be still. And let the dog come up and sniff you and get comfortable. Or if the dog has an owner with it, we can ask the owner if the dog's friendly and if we can pet it, right? We don't want to get bit. That's bad. Nobody wants to get bit. Then you guys will have to go to the doctors or to the hospital, right? So that's bad deal, bad deal. What happens if another dog comes up to us? What else should we do? Act like a log, right? Act like a log. So logs lay on the ground and they're still, right? Again, we don't want to scare the dog. We want to be still so the dog doesn't get scared and bite us. And if the dog has an owner, what do? Ask the owner. Very good. You guys are smart. You sure you're in 3rd grade? Yeah. You sure? You guys are pretty smart. Pretty smart for 3rd grade. So now you guys are what I like to call junior pet professors, right? So I got some vocab words and I'm going to call on some people. We're going to be interactive. And I want you guys to just tell me what you see here. And got some props here with me. I'll show you guys. So let's go over the first vocab word. License. And these have tags and collars. Anybody tell me why this is important? You want to tell me why?
So if the dog gets lost, somebody will find it and then they can call the owner.
Very good. You're super smart. Awesome. That's right. If dogs have tags and collars and they run away from home, if they don't have the tags, nobody's going to find them and then they're not going to come back to us. But if they have tags and collars and licenses, they can be returned to us if they get lost, right? Another very important part is baths. Look at my picture here. Dog and cat in the bath. Scrub-a-dub-dub in the bubbles, right? It's important that dogs get baths too. We got to keep them clean. Anybody tell me why it's important that we keep dogs clean? I saw your hand up first.
To keep dogs clean, maybe just in case if there are flies, you could get them out before.
Exactly right, to protect them from any kind of bugs that they might get, right? Dogs are outside rolling in the dirt and in the grass and playing in the trees and they can pick up bugs, right? So it's important that we bathe them and we give them baths to keep them super clean. You guys take baths every day, right?
Yeah.
So we want to give our dogs baths too.
Yeah.
That's important. We got to keep them clean. Got to keep them clean. Next couple vocab words here. Food and water. Very, very important. I saw your hand up. Why is it important to give our dogs and cats food and water? Think about it. So they can live. Yeah. They got to eat. Yeah. They got to eat, right? You guys eat. You guys love food too. Yeah. Right? So it's important that we have to give our dogs and cats food and water as well. Now I got some food bowls here. These look familiar to anybody? These are a couple examples of some food bowls you might feed your dogs and cats in. One for food, one for water, right? Very, very important. Our dogs have to eat. They have to live, guys. So we got to feed them lots and lots of water, okay? Proper nutrition, very important. Let's talk about the next slide here. One of my faves again. Veterinarian and shots. Dum, dum, dum. Uh-oh, she's like, oh my God, the doctor. Very, very important, guys. This is where I work. I work at an animal hospital. And so I take care of dogs and cats that are sick, and I treat them very well, and I try to make them feel better. Miss Rooney brings her dog to me, and I treat her dog Reese, and I try to make Reese feel as comfortable and safe and take care of him as best as I can, right? So very, very important. We have veterinarians, and we have to get them shots on a regular basis. Okay, I'll explain that one. You don't have to explain that one to me. Next slide. Another fun one, play. I like to play. You guys have recess, you go outside and unwind and play, monkey bars and all kinds of slides and everything, right? So these things are important to us. They have to be important to our pets as well. Our pets like to play, right? Who likes to play with tennis balls? All of you guys. Somebody catch it. Everybody, right? Toss it back. Nice toss. So we have to, it's important, we have to take our dogs out and play with them, play fetch maybe, right? Or tug of war, hide and seek, something like that, so we can get all that energy out, right? So very important that we play with our pets a lot, right? Keep them nice and active. Another one of my favorites, love. Oh, love. I love love. Love, love, love. Love. We have to show our pets lots and lots of love, right? Kisses and hugs, right? Very, very important too to sustain good life. You got to give your pets love. How many of you guys love your pets? Everybody raise your hand. Even if you don't have pets, raise your hand. You love them. Yes, you do. I know you do. Love.
I love my puppies.
You love your puppies? Me too. Very important, okay? Give your pets lots of love. Another important thing is leashes and collars, right? Anybody tell me why leashes and collars? I've called on you guys. Can you tell me why? You can tell me. Why is leashes and collars important for pets?
Because sometimes if you don't have them on the leash, then it could run away.
Very good. There's a chance that they might get away, right, if we don't have them on leashes and collars? So it's very important that we protect our pets and keep them close to us at all times. So I got a couple examples here. This is one of the leads that I use in the hospital to transport dogs to and around the hospital. Very important, just so I can keep them close to my side and that they're not running away, right? Maybe they're sick, got a broke leg, and I can't have them running away, right? That's not good, so I have to keep them on this kind of leash here. Another example, may look a little bit more familiar to some of you guys. Another type of leash, right? This end you hold here with your hand so the dog doesn't get away, and this clips to the dog's collar on the neck, right? Or the harness on the back, right? Very important, very important. I got another cool kind of leash here. Anybody know what? Oh, look, y'all know about this one, right? What's so special about this one? Tell me why. What's so special?
Because of those two buttons on that, one of them or it makes them want to stop.
That's right.
And
it goes out, it comes back, right? And with these buttons up here, I can control how far the dog can go, right? So that's a pretty cool feature of this, right? I can control how far the dog goes. If I want him to go this far, that's it. I can press the button and he can't go any farther. Can't go any farther, right? I also got it hooked up here to a leash. And this kind of leash goes around the neck. And it also it helps you to control the pet that you have. You can take them for walks around the beach or to the park or maybe the dog parks or the friend's house, right? So it's very important that we protect our pets and we keep them safe next to us on leashes and collars, right? Very, very important. Okay, guys? Let's talk about the last and final vocab word here. Shelter. Shelter's very important. You guys all live in nice houses, right? Anybody tell me why shelter's important? Who haven't I called on? My messenger girl. Why is shelter important? Come on. To be safe. Exactly, right? When it rains outside, the dog or cat has to go into its house and be safe from the weather. So it's very important that we protect our pets and give them a nice place to live. Nice comfy bed, nice place to sleep and have nice dreams, dream about food and playing with you guys all the time, right? So very important that we provide our pets with a very adequate shelter. Protection from the rain, protection from the weather, and protection from bugs too. Bugs can get on dogs if they don't have houses. So very important that we give them a good place to live, okay? Cool beans. That concludes my presentation. I have something else for you guys. I have two rules before this next part of my presentation. The first rule is indoor voices only. My friend that I brought along, he gets scared if we talk real loud like this. Exactly. Everybody's like this. He gets really scared if we talk loud. So we have to be nice and quiet and nice and calm and use our indoor voices. Is that okay? Rule number one, indoor voices. Rule number two, Miss Rooney, hand sanitizer. I will allow you to pet my friend if you would like. You don't have to. It's your choice. If you do, however, choose to partake in the petting of my friend, you have to go see Miss Rooney after you do to get some hand sanitizer. Because it's very important that we also take into consideration hygiene, guys. Hygiene is very important. When we're playing with pets, it's also important that we wash our hands and keep our hands clean to prevent the transmission of disease, right?
And germs?
So and germs, exactly. Very important, right? So we have to wash our hands. Once you pet my friend, go see Miss Rooney. She'll give you some hand sanitizer, and you guys will be all good to go. Okay? Who can tell me the first rule? You want to tell me first rule? Indoor voices. I like the way you use your demonstration and your answer. That was perfect. Indoor voices. Good job. Rule number two. Rule number two. Just do it. Rule number two. Hand sanitizer. Go visit Ms. Rooney. Right? So who's ready for this next part of my presentation? Uh-oh. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Keep your excitement low.
So look at this guy. Pretty cool, huh? So this is my personal pet. This is my personal pet. He lives with me. His name is Iggy the iguana. He's about 10 years old. He's about 10 years old. He goes around to the schools with me and talks to you guys, and I show him off because I want you guys to see how cool these guys are. And I want you guys to respect the pets and just treat them good, man, and love every pet. You know what I mean? Iguanas, cats, dogs, love them all, right? So, yeah. Pretty cool? How about some questions? Anybody got some questions? He's all over the place today, huh? What's your question way back there?
You had that from when he was born?
I've had him from way when he was a baby. He was like this big. Can you believe that? He was that big, and look how big he is now, 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I like you guys, you're pretty cool. Having a good time, good day. What's your question? Does he bite? He does not bite on purpose. He does have teeth to protect him from predators. So he does have teeth, but he doesn't bite. He's a very, very friendly iguana. Like I said, I've had him for 10 years, and I've taken him around. He's very social. He loves people. So he's a pretty good iguana, man. He's pretty cool. What's your question? This is a boy.
Whoa!
He said, I'm a boy.
Good.
He said, I'm a boy. What's your question?
If he changes own, how size is he? Like this big?
How
or
big?
This big?
He's about 3.5 feet long right now.
Whoa.
That's pretty long, right? About 3.5 feet, including all of this tail over here. Yeah. Pretty long tail, right? What's your question? Can they run fast? They are excellent runners. They run really well, and they swim really well also, right? His tail is very, very powerful. So if a predator comes like birds or something and they need to get away, these guys can swim in the water, they can run, they can climb trees. They're very, very good animals at getting away from other pets. You almost got you there? How about your question? Way in the back. How about you? Does it shed skin? He does shed his skin. Do you know why?
Why?
He sheds his skin because he outgrows his old one. Pretty simple, right? So as he gets bigger, he sheds his scales, and then I have to clean up all the mess. Can you believe that? What's your question?
Does his tail ever get longer?
Does his tail? He's almost full grown now, so it won't get any longer. But it's pretty long, and it hurts when he gets you with it too, man. How about your question?
What do they eat?
What do they eat? That's an excellent question. Very good question. Nutrition is important, right? So this guy's nutrition on a daily basis is, he's a vegetarian. Anybody know a vegetarian?
Yeah.
What's a vegetarian? You can just tell me.
It's someone who's a doctor and take care of.
That's right. They don't eat meat, right? They don't eat any meat, right? So his diet is vegetables, and he likes fruits. His favorite fruit is bananas. He loves bananas. And he likes to eat a lot of lettuce and tomatoes and carrots and cucumbers. I know. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. He's in a deep sleep. What's your question?
Does he have a birthday?
Does he have a birthday? Yeah, his birthday is New Year's. January 1st. Happy New Year and happy birthday at the same time. What's your question?
January 1st, my sister.
Really? Awesome. They got something in common. You can go tell your sister. You saw an iguana with the same birthday, right? Pretty cool. What's your question? Does it hurt when he scratches? He does have really nice claws, really long claws. Remember I told you he's good at getting away and climbing trees? I had to trim his claws before he got here because he does scratch and it does hurt. But he won't scratch you guys, I promise. What's your question?
Whoa.
How long are his nails? Well, you can see them. They're pretty long before I cut them, but they're very sharp. And these guys live in the canopy of the forest. Anybody know what the canopy is? The canopy of the forest is the top part up in the trees. That's where these guys like to live. So they like to live high up in the trees, off the ground, where there's lots of fresh fruits coming off the trees and lots of lettuce growing in the trees. So that's where these guys live. Very good climbers, very long necks. What's your question? You have a question? Yeah? You can ask me. No? I'll come back. I'll come back to you. What's your question? Where did I get him? I got him from a pet store. I rescued him from a pet store. I've always had exotic pets. I had some snakes, but I had to get rid of them. Yeah, snakes are pretty cool, but I couldn't bring them with me. So I got him from a pet store, and I got him when he was a little baby. You have a question? What's your question? Can he change colors? So he doesn't change colors like a chameleon does, but when he eats a lot of greens, he does get very, very bright green. And he likes to soak up the sunlight, right? So he's got to stay warm. These guys are cold-blooded. So he likes to soak up the sunlight, and when he soaks up the sunlight, he gets really, really bright green. That's about as much color change as we're going to get. It's about as much. A few more questions?
No.
Okay. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's okay.
Calm down, boys and girls. Calm
Oh my God,
down.
he's got some skills. So, who wants to pet him? Pet his tail? We all do? Okay. I'm going to get over here and then we can line up and you guys can come by and individually pet him one-on-one. Is that cool?
Rule number 1. Sit down. I did not excuse anybody. Thank you. All right, you're first here.
Pretty cool. What's he feel like?
Pretty soft, huh? Can we do maybe an exit over here and then we'll do a station right here for hand sanitizer. Okay. Okay, right now.
Next. What you think,
Sit
man?
down.
I'm not going to call the kids that are splitting up.
Pretty cool. So like a snake skin almost, kind of like.
We'll go every other.
You feel like a snake, right? Very scary.
I had to put a body. It's so weird. Stop. I should go up there.
What do you feel like? Pretty cool.
Baby.
Neat.
Where's all the phone?
Pretty cool, huh? So you guys are going to say you had a pet professor come by today?
It feels
And he showed you his iguana?
When you're done, sit down on your
How many
bottom,
of you guys
just like we
have
told you to.
seen iguanas before? How many of you have pet
Sit down on your
iguanas before?
bottom.
I see one in Colombia. It's huge.
Oh yeah?
I saw one
Spiky? Spiky on his tail?
I was going to bite this snake. I want to bite this. I was so